Welcome to Milestone 3. Today we're going to get the emulator up and running. So I recommend you study the BDK documentation as well as the documentation relating to building an application. But before you can get going on all of that, you're going to need to install the VirtualBox and install the IDE NetBeans. And it's going to take you through that. After that, you'll be able to compile the code, transfer it into the VirtualBox image, and then run it from there. So the first thing you're going to need to do is install the VirtualBox image. This is pretty straightforward. Once you've downloaded it, you double click on it and install it into the default directory locations. You may need to turn off any firewall, application detection, intrusion detection you may have running, and just install it into the default place. You may create a desktop icon if you like. I'm going to turn those off, and finished. Pretty much a straightforward process. Once you've got the VirtualBox image installed, you're then going to need to install the NetBeans IDE. I'm not going to explain to you how you install NetBeans. There's a lot of information on the Oracle website how to do that. But once you've done that, you'll be in a position to compile the Hello World application. So once you've got the NetBeans up and running, I'm just going to show you how you compile the code. First thing you're going to need to do is load the projects into the IDE, and you go File, Open Projects, and there's three main projects that you're going to need by default. That's in the BI3 directory, the BI3 candidate, the generator, and the make. You can load all three of those. And you're also going to need the Hello World application that was bulked with this project. So you can open that project separately. Once they're all open, then you're going to be able to build them. You go right mouse click, clean and build on the Hello World application, and that should compile. Now if there's a problem, there may be a dependency issue, and to do that you're going to need to right mouse click on that application, that Hello World application, and sort out the dependencies. It's going to want to have a look at the BI3 directory and link that. So study the documentation of how to do that. That's probably the only error you're going to come across there. Once you've done that, you're going to need to make the project, and that is take that source code and that build and turn it into something that can execute. And so you're going to need to run the make file for that. But to get organized before you can do that, you're going to need to load it onto the VirtualBox image, and for that you're going to need another piece of software. You need to download that piece of software, HTTP file server. You just go to the website, follow the documentation, and download it onto your machine. It's pretty straightforward. Save it somewhere, and double click, no install, run it, and you select the port and the directory that you want to upload to, and you set it up ready for the VirtualBox server to connect with. Okay, so the next stage, as I was saying before, is to make it. You've got the pre-compiled code. Now you need to run the make. The make is already set up for you, so you just essentially double click on it and just hit enter a few times. Just that'll produce the default build, and it's created all the right directories that you need. So if you go to the images directory, you'll see that's created a nice image for you. You can set that up for transfer. Just follow the documentation of how to do that. and we're going to upload it into the VirtualBox image now. There it goes. Set up the port, enter the file name that you want to save, and up it goes. Now that it's inside the VirtualBox machine, you then are in a position to factory load it by executing it the first time, and then you can execute it a second time, which will be the real first load. Now once you've executed it, you need to go and check the log files to ensure that your Hello World application did indeed run correctly. And when that works, you know you've done the milestone, and you can FTP it to us for checking. And just use your FTP details that you were emailed before. Great. Good luck, and thanks for Milestone 3.